Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare, and welcome to The Witcher 3. Now you may be wondering why I'm starting with 3, but right now we have a cutscene, so I'm going to let that play out first.
I see you gather before me. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Emperor Emhyr has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fortress from here to the Blue Mountains. Rabid and ravenous, he bites and bites away. Men of the North, you stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres. The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic. Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power and wealth. And the monsters at our door, the unholy relics of this conjunction. The trolls, the corpse-eaters, the werewolves. Did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery, their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual. Sent to fight monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil. The flicker of humanity, long extinguished within them. Yes, their numbers have dwindled through the years. But a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day, they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The Dark Raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
So there you go. Fun premise. Anyway, I'm going to leave it on the start screen here for a while, just so we can hear the creepy child lullaby theme here, but also so I can tell you a few things. First of all, I am starting with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt rather than the original Witcher or Witcher 2 games because, and this is coming from someone who enjoys the first two games and has played them both multiple times, Witcher 3 is by and far a much better game. Much more enjoyable, much more fun, and a lot more to do, essentially. So, the whole thing is based on a book series by a Polish author. I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, Andrzej Sapkowski. But, yeah, he wrote a bunch of short stories, followed by a novel series that built on the lore the short stories created. Changed a few things, too, along the way. And, it all follows Geralt of Rivia, the man you see here, a, witcher. Essentially a hired monster killer who gets involved in a bunch of mixed up fairy tales with much darker overtones than the original versions. So, at the end of the book series, Geralt dies, but he gets the whole King Arthur treatment where he just sort of also gets shipped off to a mysterious island. The Witcher game series pick up where that leaves off, with him returning from seemingly being dead, but having lost his memories. Now, the first game just involves puttering around Temeria for a while and recycling a bunch of story elements from the book series. Like, they reintroduce a few characters, they have you rescue a princess who turns into a Striga, who Geralt already rescued from being a Striga. They have you meet a kid with exceeding power who isn't the kid with exceeding power in the book series, but it's still a good introduction to the series, especially since the books weren't out in English yet. Also, incidentally, you may notice that we are doing this as New Game Plus. I think just the normal medium difficulty level, though. So New Game Plus starts you out... Oh yeah, and we're also importing a Witcher 2 save game, because I have those here. Let's see. More recent playthrough. That should do. Alright, and I've actually prepared a save game precisely for this New Game Plus. I have done everything, I have been everywhere, I have collected every last cent, sold everything I didn't immediately need. And I have built my character up as far as it is possible to go, pretty much. Well, that's just mean. Anyway, the second game involves more politics. Nilfgaard sends a Witcher to kill a bunch of northern kings, assassinate them to create some chaos before they invade again. And in this game, they invaded again. And so a lot of the political decisions you made in the second game don't actually matter. A lot of the characters you met then, you never meet in this game. And that sort of brings me to the other reason why I think The Witcher 3 is the best out of the trilogy, which is that this is the first actual sequel to the books themselves. This is the first game to involve the other two main characters of the book series, which is Yennefer, who we see here, and Ciri, short for Cirilla. You're going to be hearing Ciri a lot, so sorry about your Apple products. So what we're seeing here is that Geralt, along with his mentor figure in Witcherdom, Vesemir, are tracking the location of Yennefer, since he's heard that she's finally reappeared and wants to go see her again, and has been spending some time trying to find out where she went. Apparently where she went involved crossing an active battlefield. Doesn't sound like the wisest of moves. Wisest of directions to go, but she seems to be in a hurry. Maybe she had no choice. That last bit is Geralt's theme, and it's been his theme for the past 3 games. There are some notable exceptions to that rule, incidentally. Incidentally, that tattoo on his neck there,
You know I don't find that amusing.
that's from the second game.
It wasn't meant to amuse, but to prod you to hurry. It's midday already. You promised Ciri you'd train with her. Go before Vesemir bores her to death with those etchings.
So, later then.
See you later.
One thing she can't magic into existence is her magic focus. Okay, got control now.
You're running out of juice.
I know. You might bring me some more once you're done training.
Incidentally, it is possible to die here in the tutorial flashback.
Nothing but silver.
Gold clashes with my complexion. You should know that.
Well, not exactly a flashback. Dream sequence.
Got any clothes that aren't black or white?
Undergarments.
Fascinating.
See, I thought Ciri could stand to wait a little longer.
It's uninstructive, not to mention unreasonable.
I don't want to be reasonable.
Aha, so that's the way the wind blows. Go and train with her, then come back. It'll give me a chance to put my face on.
Of all the women I've known, you're the only one who does that before.
You've known many.
What's it matter? Only ever thought of you.
So yes, Yennefer of Vengerberg, sorceress, love interest of the novel series.
Lilac and gooseberries, of course.
Geralt, stop fingering my toiletries.
And of this game, but not the previous two. So as I was saying, it is possible to die here.
Shit. Mountain Pass is beautiful as ever.
Because you can jump off this balcony and fall to your death. It is a really nice view, though. You didn't get this view in the first game. And you were in Kaer Morhen in the first game. Just with a much weaker engine. One they borrowed from another game developer, I believe. Licensed. You know what I mean. Yeah, this is kind of fun. If you jump too high, he will roll.
Witcher's fast asleep. Ciri's disappeared somewhere, of course.
Well, we saw her. Out the balcony. She was downstairs. Oh. Now you're gonna see her again.
Guess she prefers practice to theory.
What?
Time to wake up, Master. These lessons so boring they put you to sleep too?
Damn it. After taking notes on ghouls and owl ghouls, wanted to rest my eyes a bit.
Making her slog through that brick? No wonder she took off.
John of Bruges lacks flair, true, but he's reliable. Not like the hogwash they print nowadays. She's tackling the pendulums, right? How many times do I have to tell her? Don't train alone. It only embeds your errors. Bring our young damsel to the lower courtyard. She wants to practice, she'll get to practice.
Gotta admit, we've spoiled her.
We've spoiled her. I've been saying it from the start. Ciri needs a firm hand.
Been saying that true, but you let her walk all over you just like the rest of us do.
Fine. I suppose I'm partly to blame. But this has to end. Now. Killing monsters is not something to be taken lightly. Ciri must understand that, if she is to become one of us. I'll see you below.
It was never quite certain whether she would become one of them in the book series. Geralt just sort of took her there because he didn't know what else to do with her.
Wrong. Now I see why you were so eager to practice. Strike!
Oh, she's blindfolded.
You're not in a circus. Pirouette. Wrong. Footwork. Enough. Get down.
With a flip?
What do you think? All right. Take off the blindfold. You've got work to do. Your reflexes are still slow.
Maybe for a witcher.
Think drowners or striggers will go easy on you because you haven't undergone the mutations? Though in your shoes, I'd fear Vesemir more than any strigger. Disobeying his instructions? Unwise.
Well, yes, but that book was horribly dull.
I know. And you know that's no excuse.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Better not. Vesemir said if it does, he'll make you eat a bowl of slugs covered in salt.
You!
Exactly. So you'd best behave. Come on. We'll practice with the others down below.
Shall we run the walls?
Not this time. Believe me, you don't want to keep Vesemir waiting.
Normally you'd have the option to go through the tutorial, but this is a New Game Plus, and they take that option away. Go figure.
Anything to say for yourself, young lady?
I'm very sorry, Uncle Vesemir.
Young blood craves action, I understand that. But when you fight a beast, knowledge counts as much as your silver sword. At the very least, you ought to be able to tell a ghoul from an owl ghoul.
By markings, like unto the Panthera tigris that in Zerrikania dwells, and by the sickly paleness of its visage.
So you did read the chapter. Still, you should have asked if...
But you were asleep, Uncle Vesemir.
So you did the reading. Why not admit it right off?
Never pounce on an advantage as soon as it appears. Wait till it stands to have maximum effect. Uncle Vesemir's words.
Well, you're a quick study. Quick, but mischievous. Fine, we've talked enough. Geralt, you're with me, Lambert with Eskel, Ciri with the dummy.
Again?
Stop groaning and grab a sword. What do you think? Should we start by reviewing the fundamentals or go right to free training?
Let's skip straight to free training. No point going over the basics again.
We also skip the free training.
Whoa! You really showed him, kid.
Ciri, get down here.
A little she-devil. Soon as she's back, we'll set her to polishing all the swords at Kaer Morhen.
Find that helmet? Ciri? I'll make sure to find every last blade for you. What the?
Adriana will take this, and you, White Wolf.
No!
You all right?
Had a nightmare.
About?
Take forever to explain.
Dawn's some way off. We've got time.
Might as well.
Started in the guest room at Kaer Morhen. I was relaxing in the tub, and next to me,
Triss?
Yennefer. Funny, isn't it? She's never been there. Seemed so real in my dream, though.
Was she nagging you about something? True to life, indeed. We'll find her.
I know we will. That's not what worries me. You've seen her tracks. She's at full gallop all the time. Breakneck speed through wild lands, devastated battlefields. She's in a hurry to get somewhere. Or fleeing something. Either way, it means trouble of some sort.
Be surprised if she wasn't in trouble. She's always poked her nose in beehives. Courtly intrigues here, mages' conspiracies there. What do you expect?
Don't know. Guess I thought once we were finally reunited, things would be calm. At least for a while.
Calm? With Yennefer? Good luck.
In the dream, I went and found Ciri. Then we trained.
Those were the days. Little she-devil. I've trained kids who were faster, stronger, but none had her character. Didn't end well, did it? Your dream?
No. The Wild Hunt appeared, attacked Ciri. I couldn't move, stood there like a stump.
It was just a dream.
Oh, yeah, you can move the camera.
That's the problem. It was more. In the past, when Ciri'd appear in my dreams, something was wrong. She was in danger.
We taught her how to defend herself from anything, wraiths included.
Be dawning soon. Time to go.
Under the Wild Hunt aren't actually wraiths.
Wait. Show me the letter from Yennefer. Might have overlooked some hint in there.
Didn't overlook anything. We were meant to meet in Willoughby. That's what she wrote. Meanwhile, one army or another burned the village to the ground. All we can do is follow her trail, so...
Stop talking for a minute and give me the letter. How about that? It does smell of lilac and gooseberries.
You were gonna read it, not sniff it.
We must meet. Soon. Willoughby near Vizima. Nothing else to guide us there. What's this postscript? I still have the unicorn?
Based on answer 2, I think I'll go with answer 1.
That's private. Very private.
Aha, I understand. At least I think I do. Maybe not entirely, but perhaps that's for the best.
Back on topic. How's it look? How far behind Yennefer are we?
2 or 3 days. Trail's fresh, but it looks like it leads towards the main road. Could be muddled there. Wait, hear that?
I hear it. I smell it. Ghouls.
Here we go. First actual battle of the new game. Now, not the first one that I myself have participated in. But hey, it's a good time to show off how combat works. Mostly there's a lot of rolling around. Some instant death. Also, you can either roll a large distance or just dodge a short distance. 2 different buttons for 2 different effects.
Of course, when armies pass, necrophages follow. Let's go before any more show up.
But first, let me collect all their little bits. We're doing this again so that I don't have to do a lot of the busy work and character building that I would if I started with a fresh game. I'm still going to be doing some of it. Some of it is still necessary.
Bird skull in black crystal. Why do I think this is Yen's?
Oh hey, we found the thing from the intro. Maybe she'll want it back. So as you can see, I am, like I said, fully developed. Definitely towards the combat build with a couple sign things and a few alchemy things here. By combining them with mutagens, you can improve attack power, vitality, or sign intensity. And with the second DLC, you've opened up this whole area with extra special abilities that give you extra slots you can put additional abilities in. And depending on which ability you have active, that determines which type of abilities you can use, put in the slots. And also, if you get them all, you get 4 additional slots. I don't have all of them, so I only have 3 additional slots. Now, the one that I have active, the one that I will have active for the most part, makes you hit harder so long as you aren't hit during combat. And that just keeps building and building and building. And you can see the description just on the right there. Anyway, this is what I've got active. The basic combat boosts for weapons, pretty much everything for the fast attacks, because that's what I do most of the time. But then I also got some counterattack stuff, deadly precision with instant death for adrenaline points. And yeah, extra adrenaline points when you're in combat. So those two come together nicely. For signs, all I've got are Exploding Shield. The Quen shield explodes and knocks enemies back. And Delusion, which makes Axii more effective, and you can use it better in dialogue. And for alchemy, I've got weapon stuff. And I've also got Acquired Tolerance, which gives you more toxicity endurance. Unfortunately, that's not going to be very effective in this game, in this New Game Plus, because I have all of the potions and it won't give me any of their formulas. I technically don't have them right now. It's nonsense. Anyway, meditation lets you move the time. Bestiary has all of the various monsters that you can encounter. I'm going to show this from time to time. Be sure to just pause if you actually want to read the text. Character lists. Dandelion. Interesting note. This is the character named Jaskier in the Netflix series. Jaskier is his name in the original Polish, but the name refers to a harmless little flower, and so they went with a more literal translation for the game series to call him Dandelion. Again, if you want to read this all the way through, go ahead and pause. But I'm not going to be spending all video on this. Speaking of which, something else I'm doing here is this game is really, really long. And so to make this Let's Play series a little less long, all of these videos are going to be round about an hour or more in length. And even with that done, I anticipate this video series taking about 100 videos. Yeah, only 2 decoction things I've got here are for the 2 decoctions I never made because they involve you killing intelligent creatures that don't really deserve it. Oh yes, and here we have Arendite, the Silver Sword. This is the Silver Sword I'm going to have throughout the entire game, because you may have noticed there, but if you build up a 10th level charge with Arendite, and then you kill something with it, its damage increases by 2, up to a maximum, which is 10 times the level, how many levels you've gotten since you got this sword. So you saw that the max was 110. So, yeah. It's been 11 levels since I got it. As for my armor, I will have to trade this out eventually, but for now, I've got Grandmaster Woven armor, which, since I've got the whole armor set but not the 2 weapons, allows me to apply 3 oils onto a sword at any one time, instead of just 1. These are the oils over here. These are the potions mixed up with the decoctions, which grant significant bonuses for long periods of time, but eat into your toxicity by a significant margin. Then there's also bombs. You've got a couple special slots for bombs. And the Silver Sword, or the Steel Sword, is also going to be changing once I find something better eventually. There's only 2 things you need to use it on, humans and beasts, so I figured I might as well apply the oils already. The potion list, I've got a couple of olives, a whole bunch of other food, just for that matter. I think I'll just switch that out for raspberries. The food is actually pretty important, because I've also got the the level up ability that basically gives you permanent low-level regeneration, or 20 minutes at a time of low-level regeneration if you eat something. Also, notice my 6-figure income there. Cash flow. Pretty nice. Like I said, sold off everything that wasn't going to make it into the new game. So I'm pretty rich. At least by this game's standards. And, yep. Pockets and bomb slots are two different things. But something I can put in my pockets is a torch, so there it goes. And one thing I will do with the armor is I am never going to switch out of a Witcher armor. There are 4 sets of Witcher armor in the game, and you can pretty much start and finish the game in Witcher armor as soon as you've got the first set. And since this is New Game Plus, I'm starting with the first set. Anyway, here we got the world map with what's left of the Northern Realms. The black outline there marks off Nilfgaard's territory. Pretty much only Redania is left out of the Northern Realms. That and a few small but neutral realms.
Ever tell you about this sorcerer I knew? Couldn't stop talking about how useful they are as creatures.
Because you can brew potions from their blood?
No, because by eating rotting corpses, they prevent epidemics.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No. Really upset him, too. His theory collapsed.
I think that happens in the books as well.
War is not exactly going our way.
We have a side.
The Northern Realms.
Radovid's realms, don't you mean? Temeria and Edirn are no more.
Radovid's pledged to restore the old borders as soon as he wins the war.
Believe that?
Gotta believe something. That's what keeps us going.
I think we stopped talking, so yeah, let's go on to a gallop. You do that by double tapping left shift, oddly enough.
Oh, now. Whoa.
We going? Help me! Help!
Has it gone?
Yeah. Come out.
Gods, that was close. I was sure I'd end up like my mare.
Provided you got lucky.
Your horse died quickly, but griffins like to toy with their prey. Eat it, alive, piece by piece.
Oh. You'd like a reward, I suppose.
We're not running a charity here, come on.
Could always use a few crowns.
Thing is, I've a meager purse at the moment. Nilfgaardians requisitioned my goods. Now this. Here.
Back to the trail?
Like I said, leads to the main road and ends there, muddled.
You seek someone?
Yes, a woman. Medium height, long black hair. Seen anyone like that?
No. But there's an inn here in White Orchard. Sole one around. Gets its share of travelers. Perhaps you'll learn something there?
Not a bad idea, especially since that wound needs cleaning.
Ah, beast barely grazed me. But sure, could use a good rye. Nice and cool, you know, straight from a cellar.
Let's go.
Greetings.
Doesn't really have anything else to say, I guess.
So, a griffin this close to the village? Strange.
My thoughts exactly. In the forest or the mountain, sure, but here? Near the main road.
Maybe it's the war. Corpses everywhere, the stench of blood, burnt flesh. Drives monsters crazy sometimes.
Men, too. We need to watch ourselves in White Orchard. And we should leave as soon as we learn anything.
My gran told me about Smithville. Lad went missing one day, so the local lad bewitched him that was hunting nearby. Started poking him, asking. Well, he started twisting and squirming, so wham bam, they knocked his head off.
Oh, so it were. Except it was some drowner that had supped on the kid. Witcher had naught to do with it. What did the folk do? Tell you, they could have sewed his head back on. Word is, they laid his corpse to rest. Hush, hush, and
Interesting. Witchers are not generally liked by the population.
What?
Take that down before there's trouble. That is a coat of arms, the Temerian lilies. They've a right to hang there.
This ain't Temeria no more, old man. It's Nilfgaard now.
My arse it is.
But that was the only thing you could do about it.
What? Witches?
I'll not drink with Weaverlaw's freaks.
Beg your pardon for those thugs.
No need. We're used to it.
Folk are jumpy round here. Armies just passed through. Now a griffin's prowling about.
Already had the pleasure. One mean beast.
Mean? Light way for a hunter to put it. Clawed Lena so bad, poor thing's 1 foot in the grave. But there's no good to wallow in misfortune. How can I be of service?
With a drop of vodka for me.
And you? Something to wet your tongue?
There a contract on that griffin?
Nay, not at the moment. Used to be. Soon as a beast had built a nest nearby, the alderman would start a collection, or go to the Lord for help. Now the alderman don't use the privy without asking the Black One's permission first. And seems they hanged the Lord. So no contract.
Shame. We might have done something, but not for free.
Pretty busy place you got.
Nations on the move. Some search for kin, others just want to get out of the way of the armies. They all need food, drink, and a night's rest in warmth.
So, war's been good for your trade?
Aye, so far. But it'd be best to know peace again. Times like these, you never know what tomorrow will bring.
Show me what you got behind the counter.
What's this? She's got Gwent cards. Don't mind if I do. Also a bunch of food and drink, but who cares about that? Now that she's out of Gwent cards, I'm not interested anymore. But just for appearance's sake, I might as well grab a bottle.
Looking for a woman. Raven-haired, violet eyes, dresses in black and white. riding in from Willoughby. And, strange as it sounds, lilac and gooseberries might have smelled that.
I've not seen nor smelt such a lady. Believe I'd remember.
Yeah, especially hard to forget this one.
Plenty of travellers about, though. Folk from all over. Might be worth your while to ask after her.
Thanks for everything. Help you bandage that up?
Please. I'm not decrepit yet.
Then I'll ask about Yennefer.
Mm-hmm. Just remember, we'd rather not draw any attention.
Here, Black One's been out measuring the fields.
Let him measure. Better that than burning the harvest.
Drommel. Drommel, you're dumber than a headless cockerel. Why are they marking out them lines, eh? Passing out their patrimony. Give it to their own.
Interesting what the cat was doing there.
I'm looking for someone.
And we seek some peace and quiet.
Out of my face, freak. For your breath sours my beer.
Well, fine.
Waste of words. Don't have time for your kind.
Smart. Nor do we have time for yours.
May have noticed the symbols there. The triangle is the Axii symbol, which can be used to muddle people's minds.
More. There are 4 factions.
4 what?
Factions, teams, suits, similar to clubs and spades, except each suit has its own face cards. There are also special cards.
Wouldn't you rather play war? It's like to be near dawn before you get your game in noggin.
What a waste of time! The Earth shall revolve around the sun before you comprehend these rules.
And off they go.
Got a minute?
Why not? Aldert Geert, Assistant Professor in Contemporary History at Oxenfurt Academy.
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher with tenure. I'm looking for a woman. Long hair, dressed in black and white. Seen anyone like that?
Of course not! Unlike the populace, I know the horsewoman of war is pure poppycock.
Horsewoman of war? What's that about?
Folk say an omen. A beautiful phantom rides the fields at night, looks as you described her. Armies follow her, and all who cross her path meet with misfortune.
I can vouch for the last bit. Know where they saw her?
No, facts interest me, not fairy tales.
Not a place I'd ever expect to find a scholar. Take it you're fleeing the war?
Quite the opposite. Chasing it. I'm headed for the front.
Tired of life?
I seek knowledge, which I value more than life itself. I've a thirst no dusty old tomes can quench. I wish to see the Nilfgaardian invasion with my own eyes, understand it, and record it all in my chronicle, my magnum opus.
Interesting. We need somebody to describe war, what it's really like. Not colorful banners and generals making moving speeches, but rape, violence, and thoughtless cruelty.
Ah, I see you lack the polish of the Academy. Rape and cruelty are details of no import to the war's course. Trinkets on the garment of conflict, one might say.
Tell that to the people whose houses burned down. War reached Novigrad yet?
Nope, but it's only a matter of time. Nilfgaard on one bank, Redania on the other, drooling over the city like dogs over a juicy bone.
Many a ruler's choked on that bone.
True. We value our liberty in Novigrad, and we know how to fight for it.
The scholars especially.
The sword is not the only weapon. Do not forget, architects from our academy designed the city walls. Walls no war machine has ever crumbled.
Gotta go. So long.
A moment, Witcher. You strike me as a man of the world. Are you familiar with Gwent?
No, and I don't have time to learn.
But the rules are quite simple. Come, let's play.
Why not?
Splendid! Here's how it's done.
And once again, we are skipping the tutorial and going straight into it. So the game starts you out with a Northern Realms deck. Not my personal favorite, I'm more of a Nilfgaardian player. But, yeah, so you need at least 22 unit cards, but you should also remove cards you don't need. Familiarizing myself with the buttons here. You should remove the cards you don't need, because that gives you a better chance of drawing the cards you do want. Then you also have special cards, which are the Biting Frost, the Perpetual Fog, Torrential Rain, Clear Weather, and the Decoy that I bought over the counter earlier. You also have hero cards, which can be played in any deck. Non-faction cards, I should say. Hero cards are something else. We'll get to that once we actually find one. And then you also have leader cards. Same person every time, but different quote and different ability. You can use the leader card instead of playing a card during your turn at any point during the game, assuming that using the card is valid. You also get a chance to redraw 2 cards. And you can see that some of the cards have special abilities. It's those little things that show up beneath the card's name. Like Cooperation. If there are 2 cards of the same type on the field, then each of them doubles in power. Spy cards, that's an interesting one. You play it on your opponent's side, and their score counts towards your opponent's score, but in exchange you get to draw 2 cards, and that's nothing to sniff at. Now you've got 3 regions that you can play cards into: melee, ranged, and siege engines. And as you can see, the inclement weather cards are apply to one of the 3 regions. And you can see here that the Cooperation has doubled their power even despite the cold, so that partly makes up for the cold taking away their power, but not completely. In any event, I've been playing a whole bunch of ranged cards. Kind of curious whether the opponent will keep playing cards, even though he's in a giant card deficiency here. So yeah, eventually both players need to pass, and once they do, the scores are finalized, and whoever has the most wins the round. But you don't draw any cards between rounds. Well, the Northern Realms does, but they have a specific special ability that lets them do so. Which means that every card you play to win one round is a card you don't have to win the next round. So oftentimes, if you win the first round, it's a good idea to just pass on the second one, just so you'll have some cards left. Anyway, played a siege card there that allows me to resurrect a card out of my hand. Oh, he played Torrential Rain, but that actually brings up my leader ability here, because that nullifies all weather effects. It's effectively one of the Clear Skies cards for free. Also, he's out of cards, so I win.
Well, you've a knack for this game. If you ever find yourself in Oxenfurt and wish to play a true master, ask for Stepan. A simple innkeep by trade, but a true maestro when it comes to Gwent.
I'll remember that. Thanks.
Some Gwent decks are easier and harder than others, more powerful, but if you know how to play, you can win pretty much against pretty much any opponent with any deck. Not with any hand, sometimes some hands are just that terrible, but with any deck, yes. Last person I have to talk to.
Looking for a woman.
Like everyone.
Not like everyone. And not just any woman. Mine smells of lilac and gooseberries, dresses in black and white.
2 schnapsies. It'll lift your spirits.
Fine, I'll have a drink. Can we cut to the chase? You seen her or not?
Yennefer of Vengerberg.
Never mentioned her name.
Yet you described her perfectly. And once I hear something, I never forget. Can't help it.
How do you know Yennefer?
What a question. Master Dandelion's ballads, of course. The only way a humble merchant might hope to rub up against greatness. Unless, that is, he's as lucky as I am.
And runs into a very patient witcher.
It's a Geralt of Rivia himself. The Butcher of Blaviken.
Recognize me from Master Dandelion's ballads too?
To your health.
What do you do? Who are you?
A mangy vagrant. Gaunter O'Dim, at your service.
Vagrant? That a profession now?
Once a merchant of mirrors. The madding crowd dubbed me Master Mirror, or the Man of Glass.
You seen Yennefer?
Deepest apologies, but I must ask. Is this about love?
Now that's a bit hard to say, since Geralt and Yennefer's relationship has always been rocky, but more importantly...
None of your business.
Yes. As a vagrant, I deserve no explanation.
What do you know? Tell me.
Before you appeared, it never occurred to me that might have been Yennefer. Who would have thought?
Get to the point.
An Nilfgaardian scout from the local garrison saw her.
Where?
At their camp. She rode in there. Dark of night. Black and white. Gooseberries and... Yes, I know. Had a terse exchange with the garrison commander and raced off.
Where to?
I'm not omniscient. Ask at the garrison.
Thanks.
We men of the road must stick together. Perhaps one day I'll be in trouble and you'll be nearby to help.
Huh. Where'd he go? That was weird. Helpful, but weird. Anyway, let's, well, we've got an update. Let's see if we can talk to Vesemir about it.
Yes? What is it, Wolf?
Huh. Well, we can talk to him, but not about that.
Realize it's been half a year since we hunted down that fiend in Varun?
Yes. Well, that was more than a fiend. What was that bastard's name? Drugan? May the soil lie light upon him. Things used to be simpler. Monsters were bad, humans good. Now, everything's all confused.
Used to be exactly the same. You've just forgotten.
Do well not to point up my age. You're near a century old yourself.
See you later, Vesemir.
Alright, well, it's still worth coming over to talk to him, I guess. Anyway, so we got our stash here. So this is what I stashed in it. All of the Witcher gear from the regular game. It's going to be outdated pretty soon as I start gaining levels again. A couple of formal outfits as well. Don't have to worry about them getting weird. Also a couple of crossbows picked up. Also Witcher gear. Witcher gear in general is the green stuff. The green background. Anyway, let's see what's waiting for us outside, and eat some raspberries before we do.
Done drinking?
Mm-hmm.
Then fuck off.
Don't want your kind here.
We're gonna attack no matter what.
Haven't done anything to you, so just calm down.
Of course not. You've done nothing.
Horses work in witchcraft. Get him!
At least by doing this, I get some experience points, and I only have to fight 2 of them. Yeah, they go down fast. I can also block, by the way, it's just... there's no real reason to block. Just go ahead and have a seat there. And we'll start exploring next time.